Welcome back to ABC of Storytelling 2.0, where I share tips, tricks, techniques, and secrets that help you polish your storytelling skills so that you can use them in your business, your career, and your life. My name is Rituparna Ghosh, and I'm a storyteller, trainer, consultant, and coach. And I have developed ABC of Storytelling 2.0 as a social learning platform. I'm on a mission to empower, engage, and enable more and more story practitioners in the world. So this week we are on the letter I, and I have quite a few I's for you. So let's get started. In one of my boot camps recently, a participant asked me, "What do I do if my listener does not like stories?" Well, the answer to that is that I don't think there's anyone who does not like stories. But yes, there are people who do not seek stories. For example, you have to make a presentation or a pitch in front of an investor who is only interested in your numbers. Would it be wise to push your story then? Maybe not. Your investor who's seeking numbers will only be satisfied if you give him or her the numbers. So it's like feeding a hungry child. Give the feast or give an offering of your numbers, share the numbers, and then share the story of why the numbers are important for you. Do not be discouraged by the listeners who do not have an intent to listen. To have an intent to listen is to be interested in your story. To have an intent to listen is to be interested in the emotions that lead the person on. To be listening with intent is to understand the whys and hows of your business. Well, there are all kinds of listeners, and to be a storyteller, you have to judge the intent of the listener. Is your listener listening with intent? Is he listening to understand where you're coming from and why are you sharing what you are sharing? But also remember, when the listener is not listening with intent, you have to give the listener what he or she needs. Maybe it is numbers. So if it is that, share the numbers first and then tell the story. Let me begin by clearing a misconception. You cannot become a storyteller by copying somebody's stories. Neither can you become a storyteller by imitating their storytelling style. In some of my earlier workshops, I would often show a Steve Jobs video. And I landed up seeing that everyone in the room was picking up the 3-point formula to tell their stories. Every story had 3 principal takeaways. Now I ask people to find their own storytelling gurus, to go seek a storyteller who has influenced them, who has motivated them, who has really captured their imagination. Find a storyteller from their community, from their life, from their families, and from the big virtual world. I recommend you do the same. Go and find your storytelling guru. Go and observe as many storytellers out there and try and understand what works for them and what works for you, both as a teller and a listener. Find the best elements and adopt them and weave them into your own personality. When you try and imitate another storyteller, you're just a mere copycat. Instead, be the storyteller who everyone aspires to be like. Storytelling will be the strongest currency in the world. If you haven't heard my TEDx talk, I recommend you pause this video, go check that one out. Or you can wait till you're finished with all the I's. In my talk, I share a futuristic view of what storytelling will be, but I also back it up with some stories. We know that stories influence people, but if you begin telling stories with the sole purpose of influencing people into taking action, then you're not beginning with the right strategy. I recommend using 3 I's or the 3 I structure or the 3 I stories that you can follow to really influence people. You begin with the first I, which is inform. If there is a problem, inform people of the problem that there is. For example, you are part of a social enterprise that looks after animal welfare. If you want to tell a story to raise funds, begin by informing people that there is a problem. Sometimes a problem or a conflict is not known to people because they don't see it. Sometimes just elevating the problem and informing people that, look, there is a problem out there that needs a solution, really gets people to sit up and listen to you with intent. The second I that you have is illustrate. If you have evidence, if you can show something to show the problem, here is the story that you must tell. Show the story or show the evidence to your story that there is a problem and this is the problem. See how big the problem is. Tell your story that illustrates the problem from beginning to the end. And perhaps also illustrate a whiff of a solution. The third I that you have is influence. If you want your listener to take action, gently nudge them towards taking action, towards the solution. That they are the solution and they have the keys to solving the problem that you raised with Inform. Storytelling, to use it for influence, means using a lot of power. And like Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility, so does storytelling come with dollops of responsibility. I recommend you tell stories to influence, but do it with a fair sense of judgment, honesty, and real empathy for the problem that you're trying to solve and the solution that you're trying to create. That's all we have time for this week on ABC of Storytelling 2.0, and I hope all the eyes have ignited your mind and you're imagining yourself telling inspirational stories to the world out there. I better stop now or I'll roll out more eyes for you. If you're navigating through Storyverse and you're stuck with a story or don't know how to really apply storytelling in your business and your work, write to us at contact@yourstorybag.com. Join our Telegram community, sign up for our boot camps, we'll share our calendars soon, and I'll see you next week. Till the next letter, happy storytelling.